Hey guys, Will Beach here with Great Trades, and I just want to go over a couple these penny stocks we dealt with this week, and just go over some of the chart patterns and what we're looking at, and how we'd move forward. Apologize for the babies screaming in the background. Again, I got two little ones under 2 years old, so that's the the kind of the lifestyle we got here. So, anyways, let's go over my four main trades this week was Groupon, CTRM, TEL, and GLBS. So TEL, or I'm sorry, CTRM and GLBS were both maritime, dry goods, stuff like that, shipping, and then Groupon and TEL. And TEL is a natural gas company. TEL didn't perform the way I thought it would perform, but it's also a natural gas company, and with everything going on, worldwide events, commodities are going to be more unpredictable. Penny stocks as a whole are unpredictable in that they follow the same patterns, but they can change just like that. So the best bet here is that we cut our losses and we walked away. I actually walked off at break even though I had a couple opportunities to make a couple bucks off of it. I wasn't sweating it. I had good runs on the other ones, and I'll show you. Like right now, we have Groupon marked. Groupon back here is actually the signal. The buy signal was back here at this 60 cent mark. You could see that if you bought here, we are looking at an hourly chart, by the way. This is an hourly chart that if we, and that means each ticker here is 1 hour's worth of time. If you want to know more about how my charts are set up, please go through my YouTube channel, subscribe, look at how I set up my charts, and you'll have a better understanding. Because yes, I do have a lot going on my page, and many traders actually frown upon all these. They call it spaghetti, but here we are. I want confirmations. I'm not a day trader. I want to make sure that what I purchase is going to last longer than a couple minutes. This is not day trading. This is technical momentum swing trading, where we get our multiple confirmations that we're entering into momentum, and then from that point we are going to determine what our exits are based on our own comfort level, whether gains or losses at that point. But we're entering into momentum, and this is what it looks like. Hourly chart confirmation here at 60, and as we walk, we see that even though we get confirmation that we might be entering into momentum, we're flat for pretty much a whole day's worth of time. Then this day pops, and then we go flat, and then pop, down a little bit, pop. So you can see that this trend went from 60 cents all the way to $1.42. Now, I didn't stick it out for this length of time. I actually sold somewhere in, I believe I got to 91. Yep, so 60, and I didn't buy right at this confirmation. I actually bought at 68 once we started breaking out. So I bought right here and sold right in here. So I held it for 1 day, swing trades. So why do I do this? Well, I do this because I don't want to be a day trader. My account, I don't keep 25,000 in it, and I don't want to burn up my 3 day trades. I actually use my day trades for safety nets, not for day trading. It does happen so safety net can go either way. I can go ahead and use it as a day trade if I get the momentum pop I was looking for. It just happened sooner than expected. Boom, sell it out. I have that day trade available. Or if it starts dropping at a level that I'm not comfortable with, boom, day trade it, sell it out. That's why I have those 3 day trades. I don't use them for just trying to get those 3 day trades in a week and calling it. I like to swing trade. It's safer. It makes more sense to me, and you take a little bit more of the emotion out of it, and you really put your technicals to work. So who would have kept it all the way up here to $1.42? If you bought in this range down here, I would hope you would have sold somewhere along the way, which you could see the selling start happening in here, and again here, and then obviously that day Friday, yesterday. This is the big sell-off, and it dropped even more in after hours down to an ask of 115 and a bid at 107. All right, so why did I sell? That was just my comfort level. 68 cents to 91 cents on penny stocks is a pretty good run. I don't really test my greed with these. If we go out and we want to see a bigger scale, this is why. This is a daily chart of Groupon. We've already been way below the last time I set these Fibonacci lines. We're way below, way below. And this is what the rebound looks like. I really don't want to hold with this. This is a very ugly looking chart. And most likely we're going to start seeing consolidation happen, which means you enter into these, this kind of channel right here, which might be good for picking some, but it doesn't do me any good in the long run because it's not something I want to hold on to. So when we go down to this 1 hour chart and we find where this momentum picks up at, this is the same few days you just saw, but we're able to recognize it at a much earlier spot and get that. Let's go ahead and take a look at CTRM. Let's talk about the future of Groupon. Like I just said, basically, I would be looking into some kind of consolidation. It might be able to push and hit this 50-day as resistance, but because of this chart, basically every level has resistance, so it could technically just be done and kind of sit right in this range and just bounce up and down here a little bit. I wouldn't expect too much. If it did run, I mean, you're talking about 100 or $1.76 possibly at its very high, possibly, but since there's no momentum on the daily chart, I just wouldn't mess with it. Let's go with CTRM. CTRM. All right, so you can see this daily chart. We have this just downtrend for, I mean, we're on a year's worth of time, so just for the past year, nothing but down. Here we are. This is a daily chart. You can see we're at the 0 and we have this 99-cent resistance level. So I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm going to go back to my hourly chart and see where we found our momentum. So with this one, I traded the CTRM. I think it was Wednesday or somewhere in that range, which makes sense because actually here it is right here. So here's my confirmation that we're about to start breaking out. I bought CTRM at 59 cents and I actually sold the next day at open at actually let me actually take a look at that. I do use so I use Thinkorswim to chart. I use Robinhood to trade. All right, let's see what we ended up with on this one. So we bought at, oh, okay. On this one, we bought at 63. Actually, we bought at 65 and 63. And we sold at, we sold at 80. So we bought at 63 and we sold at 80. So our confirmation was here, which actually makes sense because we caught it on the run up right in this range right here. And then we sold the next day at a level of 80 cents. And I remember I sold right in the morning. It might have been the first hour, between the first or second hour here. I sold at 80 cents. So why did I choose that as my sell? Well, again, I'm not greedy. I'm going to go ahead and take it, even though there's a confirmation. And if you would have sat through the dip, you would actually got a little bit more out of it. And there might be still more to go. But for me, I'm happy right there. I know that 99 cents is a resistance level no matter what, but I wanted to be confident in my trade. And right here is technically the crossover that says to sell. And if you wait for that crossover, you're already losing a lot more of what you came in. I would only made like 4 cents if I would have waited for that. So I go for my run up, which is happening right here. You can see it dipped in the morning, which I was happy to see because that means that there was going to be some kind of rebound as the chart dips and give me that second wind, and then we exited that next day. So again, 1 day swing trade with about 15 cents of profit in there. Again, guys, this is go for percentage gains, not not just dollar amounts or anything like that. Because whether you're working with a $100 account or you're working with thousands of dollars, tens of thousands, you're really gonna trick yourself if you have a $100 account and you're like, oh, I got to make $50. Well, I mean that'll happen every now and then on these penny stocks, but that's just it's not realistic. Go for if you got a 10% gain, that's $10. That's a big move on a $100 account, considering that people in the stock market hold their money in there for a year to get a 10% gain, and here you get it in 1 day. I mean that's pretty substantial when you think about it. So let's go ahead and let's see what CTRM has for the long run here. We have 99 cent resistance, and because we're coming off this, I would expect to enter into consolidation, and then eventually, as the market turns around, start getting that comeback. All right, let's look at TEL. All right, natural gas again. Look at this massive sell-off. This is the one that I just took broke even on. I believe that we have a massive pop that's going to come on this, and it's going to happen when you actually get the downside crossover, because that is momentum basically ending for the downside and saying, okay, it's safe to go up now. So when we get the crossover to the downside on this ADX, I'd say that we're going to get a nice pop on this, but I sold it. And that's just because I didn't want to hold over the weekend. I'm going to show you where I entered. I could have taken gains, but I didn't get the percentage I liked, so I left it at that. Here's the confirmation. I actually bought it right here at 89 cents. And you can see within the next move, I could have sold it upwards of 95 cents. But I went ahead and held it, let it, this is support, 85 cents was support, so I held it. Next day shows up, we're down in this low 80s again, 87, 88, no big deal. We get one little pop, 92, 93, nothing happens, and we fade into the end of Friday, and I went ahead and sold right at 88. I sold out for 1 penny loss. So I did that. I didn't want to hold it through the weekend. My move, I believe, is still coming. It's just not where I wanted it to be. So I went ahead and exited, which is, it's a big deal to be able to exit trades and save your money just the same as making money. Let's go ahead and look at global maritime. So this one actually got, when I just told you about day trades, this one actually gave me the move I was looking for very, very quickly. This is Friday, so on Friday morning I caught this. I caught this one here. I bought it at 58, 59 cents, so kind of in the middle of this first run up. And I ended up selling it once we got to 72 cents. So I actually sold almost at the very top, like right in here. 58 to 72 is quite a big change. I think it was like 16% of the trade. So I went ahead and took that off the table. It's a good margin. I was happy with that. I used a day trade for it. Friday had all 3-day trades available, so no big deal. I go into next week with 2-day trades, and I'm good with that. What is this one going to do? So on the daily chart, we're stuck at this, which is another big deal. Knowing your resistance levels is a big deal. So yes, we test above these, but when they ultimately close below them, there's just not enough strength. So with that being said, are we going to get through it? Possibly. But you have every single level of resistance right through here, as there's so many tickers at so many different levels that it could get caught up at. But ultimately, you could be looking up to $1.23, in the long run. But how long are you willing to hold it? I wasn't willing to hold it very long, so there you go. I'm using an hourly chart, and I'm swing trading to the next day, and using, my comfort level based on that to determine my exit point. Um, I don't. I'd rather use a percentage gain or a comfort level to exit rather than the technicals to exit, because again, like I showed you in the other one, if you actually wait for the confirmation, you've already backtracked quite a bit most of the time, and that's just, to me, it's not worth it. So just go ahead and don't be greedy and keep chipping away at these profit levels. So that was uh, Groupon, CTRM, TEL, and GLBS. And with that, guys, leave any comments, questions. Go to my YouTube channel. I'm sorry, my Facebook, Free Stock Trading Advice, and subscribe to my channel, and you can continue to see this. I'm building out hashtag study course, which is basically just learning these patterns, and we go from there. Basically, on building out your setup, I use Thinkorswim, and I use Robinhood. If you don't have Robinhood, if you go ahead and sign up with my link below, we both get a free share of stock. That's always helpful for both of us, and I'll keep making these videos for you guys. Thanks. Have a good one.